Hey, happy Thanksgiving. Today, we're going to try a shorter episode of Stories and Stogies. And today I am going to smoke a Macanudo Cafe Court. Imported handmade cigars. Macanudo. Comes in this nice little container. That was probably what attracted me to it. A lot of it is salesmanship with these cigars. I don't know what this tastes like. It doesn't say. Most of the cigars I smoke are gonna be brand new, obviously, to me. Except for some of the ones that I've already know that I enjoy. So this is a Macanudo Quart. Nice little container. Good morning cigar for Thanksgiving. So good little, looks like a 4, maybe a 3 by 35 or 40. And this is a Macanudo. So we're gonna smoke that, and I'm gonna give a little story about Thanksgiving. Does anybody have any idea? Leave it in the comments what you can do with these after you're done with them. Because I don't keep the little rings. I'd have a collection of rings that only I would like. But these little containers are neat. What could we put in there? Toothpicks, pot. I don't smoke pot. What can we put in there? Leave some ideas down below, because this is too nice to just throw away. I'm gonna try a new cut too for this, new to me. This lighter is really neat. It comes with, it has the top here with the flame, and it closes up, and then this can be a cigar holder right here like this. So it'll hold the cigar. It has a cutter on it, or a dig, so if it doesn't come right, you can stick this in there and get a better inhale out of it, better flame out of it. Has a cutter, V-cut cutter, and it has this one that's going to be new to me. It's a hole cutter, so I'm going to try and punch a hole in here and see how that works, because I do like the V-cut better than the full cut, because it holds in a lot more. So we're going to try this first time. So just turn it and push. And then pull it out. I don't know how this worked here. It pulled out a little piece. That might be it. If not, I'll have to do the V-cut. But it cuts through. And it's leaving a little tip like that. So we'll see if that's correct. It does look nice. I don't know if it's enough. We'll see. We'll try it out. You guys have plans for Thanksgiving? Today, I am going to my neighbor's house. She used to be a chef. Not bad. I don't get all the flavors to this day, as I keep saying. I don't notice all the flavors. But I do notice a good taste. Something about a good tobacco taste. Macanudo. I like that it's small. My usual cigars I like to grab are probably 50s. And if you're a cigar smoker, you know, the ring size. Maybe 5 by 50, 6 by 50. Sevens seem to get a little too long for me. I don't know how long it's gonna take. What, an hour and a half to smoke that? This is like a 3 by, I'm thinking 3 by 35, 3 by 40. That ring does good right there. Very simple cut. No tobacco comes out. It's a good smoke. It's coming even. It's nice and small. 30, 40-minute cigar. I'm gonna limit this one to about 20 minutes. But happy Thanksgiving. I have a neighbor, very next door neighbor, great lady. She takes my packages when I'm not around. So she'll hold them for me until I get, or put them in my garage because I gave her one of my clickers. I used to have a UPS box, and they used to get a ton of stuff from me. Mostly the freebies and things like that would just get sent, and I didn't even know I was getting, so I'd get things from them. But they ended up selling after, I was with them for 10 years and loved it. When I went up to Delaware on business, which is what this story is going to be about, they would take my packages and send them to me to Delaware. So that was awesome. UPS store. But when they sold the place, and they only raised my rate every couple of dollars every year. So they ended up selling it for a great profit. And he told me the next people are going to do the regular prices probably of UPS store, which was double, almost 3 times what I was paying for my box. So instead of $60 to $80 a year, I would have been paying $160, $200 for my box for a year. No. And it was all the way across town. I only kept that UPS store because that's where I used to live. And those people, I didn't want to change to another store. So when they left, I no longer had a reason to go all the way across town, which is probably about 15, 20 miles just to get my packages. And I didn't want another UPS store because they wouldn't take packages like these guys. These guys took an electric bike, electric scooter, big things, an organ, and they will put it in the back and hold it for me. Let me know. One time I had to get my friend, my realtor and my friend, he had to go to the store and pick it up and bring it back to my house. But other than that, they hold it for me. So after I did the office wholesale job, and before I went back to trucking, I did pharmacy tech. I went to school. I was top in my class. Went to pharmacy tech and learned everything. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to get into pharmaceuticals. So I started as a tech, and I wanted to be the ones to make the drugs and, you know, put it all together from the beginning. Maybe travel to places and decide, yeah, this is going to be a good ingredient for our drug. Let's buy them, you know, and go to different countries. And it was a big plan. When I became a pharmacy tech, I worked for a small pharmacy in Kissimmee. After a long time of looking, took me probably 10 months to look. And they were good, but there was a dream company which was maybe 2 miles away from where I lived on the east side of Orlando, and they were Forbes top 10 companies. They were one of the best nationwide. It was kind of like a mail order, I guess you'd say. But it was more of the drugs, the life-saving drugs. We had cancer drugs. We had the biggest drugs, most expensive drugs. And we had an insurance side, and they were taking care of that. I didn't do that. I would get the scripts on my computer, check them, make sure it's right, adjust the levels if I had to, and do everything that a pharmacist does. And then we'd pass it over to the pharmacist, and they'd check our work. I wasn't one of the best, but I was good. And what was really neat, quick story, is lady who became my best friend, one of my best friends there at work, She trained me, and in the middle of our talks, we were talking about cruising and things like that. It turned out that when I went on a cruise with my girlfriend, ex-girlfriend at the time, and it was a week long, it was a Carnival cruise. She was on our honeymoon on that very same cruise. We didn't know each other, and this is like 2 years before I worked for this company. And we thought it was so cool. We even went into a auction sale, and there was maybe 10 people in there, and they were in there and we were in there, and they bought some stuff and we bought some stuff, and we were auctioning against them, and we wished them happy wedding honeymoon thing. She had her whole family there, he had his family, and we bumped into each other several times and didn't know each other. So when we were talking about it, she went to I sang on stage and I got a little trophy and everything. She saw that show. She was there. So it's really funny how she ended up training me at the place. That was the wildest reunion I've ever heard of for me. So she trained me, and after about a year and a half, they had an office in Delaware, and they wanted to get 2 people from Orlando and 2 people from Indiana to go and run that office. 4 people to help run that office. So I went to the meeting, and there was maybe 30 people that were up for it, and I was one of them, of course, and I listened to them and heard about it. And I love Florida. This was in Delaware, and they said, you know, they were going to give you a condo or apartment or whatever to live in. You'd be on your own. You wouldn't have to share the apartment with other people. You run the office. Basically, other pharmacy techs are doing that work, and you're making sure the orders are coming through, the scripts are coming through, the pharmacists are doing their job, you're scheduling, you're being a boss, doing all the boss managerial things. So I told my mom about it and said, Mom, there's a place, they got a job in Delaware, and they said it's only going to last like 5 months, but it's fun to be up there. And my kids were up there because the ex-wife took the kids and basically said, screw your daddy, you know, you don't need to see your daddy. So they moved up to Maryland and had no thoughts of even coming down. If it wasn't for my mom, I would never would have gotten visits or me going up there. So my mom said, go for it. Give it a shot. Yeah, apply, do it. Lucky enough, I was one of the people they chose. So in comes Brian's brain again. And started out as 5 months. It kept getting extended. It ended up going just short of 2 years. I got to see my family more because it was an hour drive down to my mom's house. I met some great people, some lifelong friends. 2 of them have passed away. Very sad, very tragic for both very tragic. One was kind of getting there. The other one was just boom. And it still hurts to think about them because they were some great people. One of them who passed, her family came to Orlando years later, and they came to my house, and we went to karaoke together, and it was really a lot of fun. And it was surprising, you know, to see, hey, you're down from Delaware visiting me in Florida. My other friend who came up with me from Florida, he had never seen snow before, so I got to introduce him to snow. And we had some blizzards. We went to Philadelphia. We went to New York. Took a lot of the China bus to New York and spend the day in New York City in Manhattan shopping and walking around, and then come back home that next day. I did a lot of traveling, which is also why I wanted to go back in trucking, because it felt so good to visit places that I was like, I want to do this again. I went to the zoos. Every weekend I did something. The company didn't know what to do about our expenses. They gave us first they gave us a place in the city. Wilmington City. We didn't like that at all. So then they gave us a place in our own condos. So we had $3,000 a month condos on the river. And basically you could walk to the stadium, the baseball stadium. You could walk to restaurants, the pier, you could, and just enjoy. It was a great area. and it was probably worth $3,000 a month. Obviously, we didn't pay. It was furnished, little one bedroom, like a junior bedroom, executive bedroom, because the bed had its own little wall, but it didn't have a door. Very nice place. They also gave us a American Express card with $70 a day food credit. At first, we went to a lot of restaurants, and we were eating out and eating out. I probably gained like 80 pounds in this year and 9 months that we were up there because I was eating. And after a couple of months, we asked them if we could use that on our groceries instead of always going out to eat. And they said, yeah, you just can't pass, the $2,800 a month, $2,800. Imagine going to the grocery store and seeing something and wanting something and buying something and not thinking about, can I afford this? Or not even looking at the prices. Imagine being able to do that anytime you went grocery shopping. My fridge was always full, not just junk food. It was good food as well, but it was always full. Never had to look at prices. I mean, it was a great experience. This is really good. It's smooth. That's a big thing. It's a smooth cigar. Has a nice light taste. This is gonna have to go on my list. I already forgot the name of it here. Macanudo. Macanudo. You can say this new cigar guy referred you. So while I'm up in Delaware, I said to my mom, we used to have Thanksgiving meals for our family all the time. Every year it was either Thanksgiving or Christmas. Everybody in the family on my mother's side, we'd get together at one house and have a celebration, a dinner, and just enjoy it. So, and when my cousin passed away, she drowned in a pool when she was 12 years old under tricky circumstances. She was the baby of the family. We love. I mean, she held us all together. It was great. When she couldn't give people us Christmas presents one year, she wrapped up like little balls and jacks and things. She wrapped up gifts, her own toys to give away because my family, we love giving things away. And if you know me, which hopefully some of you do out of these 10 viewers I have here at a time, you see that I love giving stuff away. In fact, today I'm bringing boxes of stuff to some friends that I'm going to visit. I have 3 places I'm going, my neighbors, another friend, and another friend, and I'm giving them boxes of free stuff because I love giving stuff away. It just feels so good to be able to do that. If this channel gets anywhere, or this Stories and Stogies, I want to be able to give away some cigars or something, maybe some prizes or contests or something to make somebody just happy. That's my thing. I love making people happy with whatever I can do. So I said to my mom, I said, Mom, it was like 20 years since we had a big family Thanksgiving. I mean, in our family Thanksgiving, we get together, minimum 20 people, maximum 50, 60, 70 people. So I said to my mom, this was around March or April, close to my birthday. I said, Mom, for my birthday this year, I would love to have a Thanksgiving like the old times with the whole family. And I mean, everybody. I want a big Thanksgiving just one time. So my mom called everybody and contacted everybody and did everything she could. And she did it. My mom, she's a great lady. Oh my God. She's like me. She'll do anything to help somebody else. She'll go out of her way to help other people. And I'm like her more than she's like me. I learned that from her, from seeing her do that all the time. So my mom got this all together. And we had maybe 50 people. We got the hall outside of a church, the little building that they have outside. Everybody brought food. Everybody brought everything. And I had 2 of my coworkers, 2 of my boss coworkers, not the employees, because we couldn't associate with the employees. That's what they wanted. But we went to drinking together and karaoke together. And some of those employees are now some great friends. They're going to be my lifelong friends. So we went there And before that, I took my two coworkers, I took them to my grandmother's old house, grandfather's old house that I grew up in, that my mom and her brothers grew up in. I mean, that they started from one room, built it up, and it became huge. Well, it burned down. The only thing I'm thankful for is that it burned down after they both had passed away. And that has something to do with that time in heaven I was telling you about, but that's another story, another chapter. But went to visit, and I mean, the entire place is gone. I was basically crying. I couldn't believe it. The first time I'd ever seen it, that I thought maybe part of the house burned down, or this part burned down, or it looked burnt, looked ugly. The whole thing is gone. Where there was a huge house is nothing but nothing. It's nothingness. So then we went across the street where we used to live, and it's across the highway, 2 minutes away. Great childhood. We had trailers, and we started one trailer, got another trailer, bigger trailer, and I mean, we had land. It wasn't a trailer park or anything like that. We had land everywhere. I mean, more space than a kid can run. So we went over there, and I showed him, this is where I grew up. This was my home. We used to go here to across the street to Grandma and Grandpa's house, and it was just a great childhood living in the country. I mean, that's what I want to go back to. Maybe not Maryland, but I want to live in the country. In this case, a place where I can park my trucks. I'm gonna have 2 trucks and 2 trailers. So my mom put this great big Thanksgiving together, and we saw everybody. I mean, all the cousins. It was maybe 50 or 60 of us. I brought my 2 people who couldn't get back home with me, and my family welcomed them, and we had such a great time. And this girl my coworker, she came there because she has a big family. She was huge into family. She passed away. Rest in peace, Ty. She had a huge family, and she said, this is amazing, Brian, because nobody's fighting. There's no arguments. Everybody's happy. Everybody's smiling. Nobody's arguing or raising their voice. This is amazing. She loved it, and they welcomed her like she was theirs. And the reason, I think, is because we didn't drink. We had what some people on the radio call a dry Thanksgiving, and we always had it dry. I mean, my uncle might drink a beer or something, but that's it. No alcohol. I mean, no whiskey and tequila and all the good drinking stuff. So nobody argued. Everybody had a great time. One of my uncles had cancer, and he fought it for years. I mean, he didn't go into remission. He fought it. He was at that Thanksgiving, and it was a nice feeling to be able to hand him. I bought a car from him. This man had 2 full-time jobs for 20 years, retired from both. Full-time, 2, day and night, he worked. And I'm kind of like him because he had cars, he had a boat, motorcycle. He had, down in his basement, I went in one area, he has like 6 or 7 coolers because he thought he never knew, you never can have too much kind of thing. This man, he was amazing. Rest in peace. But he ended up dying later, but we got to see him that year. My car broke down as soon as we went to Delaware, maybe a week after. So he helped me, towed the car back to his house, big land, big house. And he said, you can pick a car and I'll give you this one. And it was a nice little family car. Of course, I changed the stereo. I put mag wheels on it. I tinted the windows. I made it my little pimpmobile, as some people called it. But to me, it was just a nice looking car. And when he saw it, he saw that I had the rims on it. The car was shiny. It looked like, he said it looked like a new car. It was great. It was a great running car. I took it to most of my trips except for New York City. That was always on the bus. And I got to hand him the very last payment, the full check, the end of that car. So that was a great feeling for me. So I think this went out. So let's light this baby up again. The flame is so strong that you can't even see it coming, but you hear it. This is so smooth. I really like this cigar. I might have to get a box of these. So I got to see my uncle. I did magic tricks for everybody, and that was great. Now today, my aunt who was there, she very older, my mom's half sister. She's still kicking. Since that time, you know, we haven't had that big Thanksgiving again. This was now 10 years, 11 years ago. But thank God my mom did that for me, and it was Brian's wish. So my mom gave me my wish. I lost one aunt just maybe a month ago. Very sad. My cousin, my favorite cousin, he was there, and man, we had such a great time together. He moved to the Philippines, and long story, he was back for a while doing things, and you know, it was great. We had so much fun together. I still have messages of him and I always talking back and forth. We shared so many things together. It was a great cousin. I grew up with this guy. He was like the big brother, you know, teaching you things, taught me to ride a bike, taught me to swim. Just great. He passed away. And my uncle, who actually lived in Delaware, him and I got very close during that time I was there. I visited him a lot, and I saw him when he was not feeling so great, and I saw him when he was feeling great. And we did a fish fry over there and got to talk, and just, I mean, it was so great listening to him tell stories about when he was younger, standing up for the rights. He was a great man. Oh my God. I want to write my book, but there's other people in this world who really everybody needs to write a book, because when you hear some stories that you had no idea about, it's amazing. So my mom had this great big Thanksgiving, and now to this day, every Thanksgiving, I remember the great times I had in my childhood up until I was about 16 when Denise passed away. And then all of a sudden the next year it was, we're not going to do anything. And the next year, and then it became nothing. Family just, I mean, Denise held that family together. So I think about those times, and then I think about that last time, 11 years ago now, when my mom did something for me, which she always does something for me, but this was I wanted this one wish. I said, I just want the whole family together. And it was just a great Thanksgiving. So if you don't have a great Thanksgiving anymore, remember the great ones you did have, and you'll still get that nice warm feeling inside. So happy Thanksgiving to you. Macanudo, I got to write that down. I like that. If I see the name, I'll know it. That this is a good smooth cigar. I still got about 20 minutes on this. And enjoy your day out here in Florida. As you can see, the lake's behind me. I may fly my drone. I'm going to my neighbor's house, and she used to be a chef, so we're cooking up little cornichons, and she's gonna have appetizers and everything. And some of her family, her uncle from San Francisco is coming over, her rich uncle. Everybody's got a rich uncle. So we're gonna have a good time doing that. And then I'm going to a friend's house who I met from the radio station. Great girl. She's getting married later this year. She has 2 kids. I got some gifts for them and their kids, and some things that fell off the truck I'm gonna give her, and pack up some food and all that. And then my friend from the office wholesale job, who I've known him since 2003 or 4. So I've known him about 21, 22 years. Great guy. And he's about the only one of the 2 I still stay in touch with that I talked about on the previous video. And we're just gonna hang out and eat there and relax. And then I'm gonna come home, maybe have another cigar, maybe relax. Good day, stories and stogies. So, and I'm getting back in the truck next week. So for now, happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. Much prayers to you and yours. Enjoy your day, enjoy your weekend, enjoy your 4 days, enjoy your travel. Be safe in all you do. Thanks for watching.